Hello, my name is Sue Wege and I'm the Director of Coordinators with the MusicLink Foundation. And I'd like to welcome you to this second training session, which will be exploring the Tools page. The Tools page is accessible only to current active MusicLink teachers and coordinators, and both will need to sign in order to access this page. This page is designed to give you all the tools you'll need to keep your records up to date, to link teachers and students, and to promote the MusicLink program. There's a lot to explore, so let's take a look. This video will cover the following topics: signing in, tools at the top, choose a form, choose a category, choose a report, potential teacher search, evaluations, and the broadcast email. The first thing you will need to do to access the Tools page is to sign in, and that is done from this tab in the upper left side of the home page. Here is the Sign In page. You will want to enter your MusicLink teacher or coordinator ID number in the user ID box. Then you'll want to enter your password in the password box and click Go. It's a good idea to change your password to something only you will know for future sign-ins. Once you are on the Tools page, you will notice several yellow tabs at the top of the page. We will look at these first. Let's start with Show My Record. Clicking on that will bring up your own record, and you can make additions or changes here. Clicking on the tab again will make it disappear. You can also view your students' records here and edit them in the same way. Click again and it'll disappear. Just under the Show My Students tab, you will see the Coordinator FAQ tab. This tab brings you to a listing of brief one-topic tutorials on many different subjects. When you have a question, this would be a good first place to check. Going back to the Tools page, I would like to take a look at the Forms, Flyers, etc. tab. Here you will find dozens of forms, documents, flyers, and other information to help you do your job. There are sample newsletter articles, flyers for conventions, our logos, fact sheets, and so much more. I will let you explore this page on your own to see what all is included. Returning again to the Tools page, let's move lower on the page down to Choose a Form. Here's a drop-down menu with 4 different forms: our MusicLink registration form, our Form B, which is our potential talent form. This form is used for a teacher to rate her students' potential talent. The C form, which is the parent-student registration form. And finally, our policy form. Let's take a look at the MusicLink registration form, or the ML form. This form should be used by teachers or coordinators to register a new student. It asks for all the standard information about students and parents, and the teacher information will actually fill in automatically once the teacher's name is input. You'll notice under Link Information that there is a question regarding the financial eligibility check. If the teacher knows that there is need and is comfortable reducing her fee with no further checking, she can just click on No and enter a brief description of the observed need in the box. The link will then be complete when she hits Submit. Otherwise, when I get the new student alert, I will go ahead and request documentation of need from the family, and the link can be finalized when the student is approved. If the teacher has already been teaching the student for a while and has some knowledge of the student's ability, she can go ahead and complete the Form B, the potential talent form. Often, though, teachers don't have any experience yet with the student, so this form can be put off for a few months. The information in this form is used for statistical purposes. If a teacher or coordinator gets a Form C from the parent, which is the parent-student registration form, the information can be entered into the online form by bringing it up here. I'm going to type in the student's name so you can see how the form looks once it's all filled in. This is the first form you should go to when you get an email alert indicating that a new student has been registered because of all the information that's included here. Scrolling down, you'll see that we ask whether or not they have a practice instrument. They can even describe the instrument if they do have one. We ask if they have a transportation, and we also ask if they have a teacher in mind already. Sometimes they do, and they will enter the teacher's name and contact information right here. That will eliminate your search for a teacher altogether. Scrolling on down, you'll see the Part A is where the parent can rate their child in a number of different areas. They can also include some personal comments about their child and their musical potential. The Part B is where the student, him or herself, can enter some information about what they like to do. The last comment is always fun to read. What else would you like us to know about you? We get some interesting and entertaining comments there. I'm going to go back up and X out and go back to the Tools page just to look at the last form, which is our policy form, or the D form. Sometimes you get a signed form in the mail from a teacher or a parent, and here is where you can indicate that it's been received. Moving a bit lower, we'll come to choose a category. This is where you would go if you wish to look up someone by name. As you can see, you can look up contacts, coordinators, students, or teachers. I'm going to click on Students and bring up a form just so you can see how this works, because this is the form that you would go to link a student with a teacher. So I'm going to type in my student and click over her name, and as you see, the form fills in again. This student has already been linked with my teacher here, so you can see that she's been chosen from the drop-down menu, and the link date has been put in. That's the date that the lessons are beginning, and we usually use the date that the student is registered. This is a very important date to have in here because it will activate the link. If this student should discontinue lessons, by the way, entering an end date will deactivate the link. If this student should change teachers, all the information on this teacher, including the start date and end dates and lesson fees, should be moved down one line. Then the new teacher can be entered on the top line. When that new teacher's fees are entered further on down the page, they will transfer up into these gray boxes. If you scroll down to the bottom of the form, you can see that there is a link to the student's C form, D form, and MusicLink form. So it's easy to tell whether the policy form has been signed yet. The color green indicates an active link. The color pink would mean that there's something missing and the link is not active yet. And gray means that the student is no longer an active student. Back on the Tools page again, I'm going to continue on down the forms to choose a report. Here you will find dozens of different reports for your use. If you are a regional coordinator, you may want to narrow your search a bit, and the boxes over here on the right can help you with that. Since there are so many, I can't go through very many, and because of security reasons, I can't open up a lot of these, but I do want to draw your attention to a few that are very useful. Third one from the bottom is the Teacher Active Student Summary. This will give you a snapshot of your state. It'll have the teacher and the students that's linked with that teacher and all of their information. Just below that is the unlinked students list. This is where you can keep track of which students are still in need of a teacher. The teacher volunteer list and the teacher without access list will give you names of teachers who are interested in teaching a MusicLink student, and also those who have taught a student in the past but are not currently active. I will let you check out the other reports on your own, and will now go further down the Tools page to the Potential Teacher Search feature. Here you can search by instrument and location for a teacher. I will enter saxophone and West Virginia and search. Here appears our teacher with contact information and the instruments that she teaches. This really helps when you're searching for a teacher of a particular instrument or in a particular area. Coming back to the tools page, I'm going to go to the right side of the page now and take a quick look at evaluations. Every spring of the year, usually around May or June, an email goes out from the national office to every MusicLink teacher who has been teaching an active MusicLink student starting before the first of the year. A link will be included directly to the students' evaluation forms where teachers are invited to evaluate their students' progress over the last year. These evaluations are very important in not only finding out how our students are doing, but also in keeping our records up to date. Busy teachers often forget to notify us when a MusicLink student discontinues lessons, so this is often the first we hear about it. If this should happen, you'd want to update the student's record by entering an end date on their form. If a teacher should lose the email with the link to her evaluation forms, she can bring up a list of her students here. Or bring up a blank form here and just enter the student's name. If she's an early childhood teacher, there is an adapted form here. The completed forms can be viewed and printed here. It's important to read each evaluation that comes in, as information may be included that is important to see. Besides indicating that their student has discontinued lessons, they may mention that the student needs a better practice instrument, or that the student is not living up to the terms of our policy form and some intervention may be needed. Or they may give a particularly glowing report about the student, and we may want to keep that student in mind for a special performance opportunity. To check on which teachers have completed their evaluations, there is a completed Form E and a missing Form E report under Choose a Report. The last thing I would like to cover on the Tools page is the Broadcast Email feature. There may be an occasion where you would like to send an email to all the local coordinators in your state or all the state coordinators in your region. You can do this here. There's a drop-down list to limit those you want your email to go to. After you write your message and you hit go, you'll have an opportunity to remove anyone from the list before sending. It's always a good idea to send a test email to yourself first, just to be sure your message turns out the way you want it. That concludes our exploration of the Tools page. As in my earlier video, I didn't cover everything that was there, so have some fun just checking everything out. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact me. And thank you again for your valuable work for the MusicLink Foundation.